The world is never going to be the same again.
I'm worried about the world.
The mass chaos and crises that there was in the world, it's going to be just like that now.
This is not an accident.
How long is it going to last? Longer than even for those of you that have some cash in the bank, way past your cash reserves.
Out of 100 people, 4 will get the message.
This thing isn't going to be over in a few weeks. This thing isn't going to be over in a few months.
Against all of this.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Well, I think the key thing here is neither of us is trying to freak people out here, but I think we're trying to underscore that the volatility, the uncertainty, the daily surprises that we're now kind of reading every time we open the newspaper or log online in the morning. They're probably likely not to stop in the next couple of weeks, at least until we have some sort of material resolution into what's going on in Ukraine here. And so we just really need to be staying on our toes and taking these kind of protective measures that you're talking about, Mike. We got a lot to go through still, so I want to just bang through things pretty quickly here. First, folks, if you appreciate, a conscientious exploration of fairly nuanced and complicated topics like this, please just support this channel by hitting the like button, then clicking the subscribe button below. And Mike, to your point, my earlier point, and then to your point, even if we get the best resolution of this possible in the next couple of weeks or month or two, there have been that breaking of some of those core beliefs that we talked about earlier around today's currency regimes, right? And so that itself is going to lend support to gold as an alternative, right? And so I think no matter what happens from here, even the best case scenario is going to be relatively gold positive, right? In terms of gold's future prospects. Now there's all the remaining uncertainty that still exists. We don't know. This could get a lot worse. It could lag on for a lot longer than we would hope. And that additional uncertainty is only going to increase the reasons to own gold and precious metals. And so I know it's a drum we beat an awful lot on this channel, and you've been talking about this literally, Mike, for decades. But this is the moment where, all those arguments that we were making get put into a bright spotlight. And not just for the folks watching this video who, most of folks have been following a lot of your work, Mike, and they kind of know this a bit. It's really the rest of the world that is waking up to this for the first time. And I think that is going to be bringing an awful lot of new capital into the precious metal space. So, long story short is if you've got your gold, good for you, hold on to it. If you don't feel you've got enough exposure yet, it's probably a very good time to continue adding more.
Yes. And, in a company meeting that we had a little while ago, I was saying that under these circumstances, $2,000, $5,000, even $10,000 an ounce for gold, if you look at how many ounces exist and how many people there are out there with a lot of capital that want to seek some sort of protection. When you take a look at that, $2,000, $5,000, even $10,000 an ounce gold is a stupid, idiotic low price, especially $2,000. This is like crazy. I am really surprised that it's only at 2,000 right now. My former business partner, I used to get asked back when gold was $600 an ounce. People would say, I'd give them a whole bunch of information, try to educate them on what's going on in the world. And they'd say, okay, well, just tell me when I should buy. And then I would tell them why. I never make recommendations. I tell people what I'm doing. When gold was $1,000 an ounce, I'd give everybody all of this information. Okay, well, just tell me when I should buy. I'd say, well, I'm buying right now. You can do what you want. And when it was $1,500 an ounce, and then my business partner said, you know what they're really saying? They're saying they don't want to buy gold right now. They want to be in stocks. But when something bad happens, when it's going to explode, then let them know. Well, the whole point is you can't trade Armageddon. You can't trade Armageddon. Gold is just an asset that everybody should have, in my opinion. I'm not telling them to buy it. I don't give financial advice, but it's, precious metals. I have a tough time justifying purchasing gold when the gold silver ratio is at these extremes. I still purchase mostly silver, but I find that I am probably less worried about the financial situation going on than 99.999% of the population. So I've done what I could over the past couple of decades almost to try and get ready for what is happening right now. So we're going to end this with a meme from Peter Spina. He's a great guy, and he's got some funny stuff. And this is a bunch of people jumping out of a plane, and this is the different currencies. And what is even better is somebody, Roger Mills, added to that, gold took this picture from the plane. All these currencies falling, and gold is still up there. So I want to thank you for being with me, Adam. This was great.
Always a pleasure, Mike. Stay safe, everyone.
Bill Gates. I get 24 hours a day, just like Beyonce and Jay-Z. You get 24 hours a day, ladies and gentlemen. What do you do with your 24 hours? You need to get more information. In our coaching program, all we do is drop content nonstop. And people are like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. See, you don't even know what you don't know. How did you let me come from behind and clip you? Do you guys know the studies show the better we look, the more money we make? Which means your website should pass the eyeball test. Your truck should pass the eyeball test. Your people should pass the eyeball test. You should pass the eyeball test. Everybody in this room has a promised land somewhere, but you can't be stuck on the city you like. You got to hear God and go to your promised land. Your promised land might be Utah. Your promised land might be Minnesota. Your promised land might be Wyoming. Hear me clearly. You better use your money to get information and access, and you better be flexible, because a real shark is flexible. Can we stop fronting and get real about this thing? And if I can do it, you can do it. I knew nothing about life. I knew nothing about business, but I had the right mindset, and I learned it through sports. And y'all got to hear my story so you understand. I didn't even start on my college basketball team. I came off the bench. At the University of Minnesota, I came off the bench. But in my mind, you can bring me off the bench, but I'm an NBA ball player when you get through talking. When you get through, I'm an NBA ball player. And that's why I would walk around and say, you can't check me. You can't check me. You can't check me. If I was you, I would walk around every day and say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I declare it right now. I'm worth millions. I'm worth millions. I will receive my salary right now, but I won't accept it as my value. So whatever you receive right now, receive it, but don't you accept it as your value. Because there's more out here for you if you change your mindset.